Lately, I've been working on improving my credentials for grandmotherhood. I think I've made a certain progress. Although a little late, I know, I can now say I have watched both Frozen 1 and Frozen 2. A must, I have been told, to further common topics of conversation with youngsters today. I can tell you who Elsa is, who Anna is, Olaf, Kristoff, and Sven. I also have to say that when you've just been betrayed by your fiancé and lost both your beloved sister and your best friend, when things look pretty grim and you don't know where to turn, Anna's advice is pretty good counsel. When you are lost and hope is gone, when the lights go out and grief surrounds, just do the next right thing. Take a step and take a step again, and it is all that you can do. So just do the next right thing. Good advice for Anna and good advice for many of us today. Right now, we are struggling through conflicting and ever-changing government regulations, scientific findings, predictions about vaccine readiness, and speculation on how bad things could get before they get better. It's such a confusing time. Hi there, my name is Ann Hogle. Welcome to this channel of weekly reflections about what it means to be spiritual beings having a physical experience, wherein I usually relate a Bible reading to what's happening in the world today. So let us begin. Anna tells us, don't think too far ahead, just do the next right thing. In my research into the movie Frozen, I discovered that the basis for this particular song was the death of two children of the movie's crew. Chris Buck lost a son, and Andrew Page a daughter. Both crew members carried on their work, all the while dealing with terrible personal tragedies. It seemed the only thing they could do. Perhaps some of you have used this strategy as well. I know I have. Sometimes life throws us a curveball. Our lives seem to fall apart and we lose what is most precious to us, and we cannot see a way forward into the future. We're pretty helpless. And the only thing we can do is the next right thing. Get out of bed when we feel like curling up and disappearing. Eat our breakfast, no matter if it sticks in our throat. Brush our teeth, get dressed, go for a walk. Just do the next right thing that can get us through the day, the week, and even into the uncertain future. In today's Bible passage, the disciples themselves are faced with a series of dramatic and unsettling events, one after the other. They've given up the security of their home life and committed to being traveling disciples of Jesus. But no sooner had their journey begun than they get word that John the Baptist has been beheaded. And now they fear Jesus and they will become Herod's next target. So they try to retreat to safety in a deserted place. But the crowds pursue them. So they spend yet another day with Jesus teaching and healing and finally sharing a meal together. When the day is done, Jesus packs them off in the boat and sends them out to sea so that he can finally have a quiet moment of prayer. But a great storm comes up on the sea, and now the disciples are fearing that nature itself is going to take their lives. After a terror-filled night on turbulent waters and without their leader, they see an apparition coming towards them over the water. And they're terrified. Jesus speaks, "Fear not, it is I." How many times in our lives have we known fear and uncertainty and wished for someone to rescue us, either God or another human being, so we don't have to go through the suffering we were enduring? How many times have we wished for someone, anyone, to tell us with certainty what the future held, and how we could find a measure of fulfillment and happiness in the midst of our distress? We live in a world where science has led us to great discoveries and improvements in the quality of life. We might even say that science has become our new God. We put our faith in what science tells us. But today, in the year 2020, we are living in times where natural events have outstripped the know-how of science, and there are so many unknowns that each of us is being asked to use our own best judgment. Where and when do we shop? Should we go on vacation or have a stay vacation? How do we go about meeting our loved ones? We have no crystal ball that will tell us what to do. Each of us is called upon to just do the next right thing. That's what the disciple Peter did that day in the boat. He must have been just as petrified as the others, but he dared to risk. He risked his trust in Jesus. "Just call me and I'll come to you," he says. So Jesus calls, and Peter gets out of the boat, his last bit of security, and he heads out into the terrifying unknown, trusting only that Jesus is his next right thing. And amazingly, he survives. Sure, he sinks, but Jesus is there to help him back up and bring him back to safety. Followers of Jesus today, we are all living on this little shallow lifeboat surrounded by stormy seas that threaten to engulf and overcome us. We are fearful and uncertain what the future will look like. We witness so much greed and cruelty, lack of generosity, suspicion of others. We are in such a sorry state of affairs. Even our natural world seems to have turned against us. Or is it perhaps the other way around? Yet the path Jesus sets before us is one that calls each of us to get out of the boat we are clinging to and risk doing the next right thing. Again and again, Jesus continues to call us to acts of compassion towards those who are in need, even those, or maybe especially those, with frozen hearts. In Disney's Frozen, both sisters, Anna and Elsa, learn that only an act of true love will thaw a frozen heart. Kindness, generosity, compassion, and forgiveness. This is the path that Jesus sets before us. In our heart of hearts, we know that this is the only way to thaw the frozen hearts in our world. Amen. Thank you for listening to today's message. If you are interested in supporting this ministry or in becoming a part of any of the acts of service of our church is involved in, or in attending one of our Zoom church services, you can contact us via the website which is listed below this video. We are currently focusing on helping our seniors navigate the technology so that they can maintain contact with their loved ones. So until we meet again, blessings on the journey.